with Yara Pariyatti Kalinkara. This will be class 20, and we will be going over the supra-mundane consciousness, part 2, or the Lokuttara-Citta, part 2. So we will begin with the Abhidhamma Lecture. Well, we'll open with Namo Tassa first. Siyato, if you would like to lead us in Namo Tassa.
Okay. Let's start our Abhidhamma study. Reciting Namo Tassa 3 times together. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa.
Thank you, Siyato, for leading us in Namo Tassa. We will now begin the Abhidhamma Lecture portion of the class. Siyato, whenever you're ready to begin the lecture. Thank you.
Okay. So, today also we are going to continue the study of Lokuttara-Citta. So Lokuttara-Citta translated as supra-mundane consciousness. Supra-mundane is to differentiate with the mundane consciousness. So we have already talked about the mundane consciousness in the previous lessons. So what is the mundane consciousness in English? In Pali, is that?
Lokuttara-Citta.
Lokuttara-Citta, right, okay. So Lokuttara-Citta divided into 2 parts, only 2, I already mentioned that. And the other, especially beautiful consciousness, we can say the Sobhana. And if we divide a consciousness into Asobhana, non-beautiful, and Sobhana, beautiful. And there, the other group of Sobhana consciousness, sense sphere, beautiful, 5 material sphere, immaterial sphere, in all 3 groups, the consciousness is divided into 3 types: Kusala, Vipaka, and Kriya. But in case of Lokuttara, only two parts of the Kusala and Vipaka. There is no functional consciousness in Lokuttara-Citta. You have to make sure that. And so here, Kusala refers to Metta, and Vipaka refers to the fruition consciousness. Here, the word Vipaka and Phala, the same. The Phala also we call the fruition. So fruition also produced by something, the fruit of something is here. The fruit of Metta is Phala. That's why the Phala consciousness are regarded as the Vipaka group, included under the Vipaka group. So after understanding this, you have to try to enumerate Kusala and Vipaka, completely, because there is no change in Kriya. As we have tried to learn the enumeration of the Kusala, Vipaka, Kriya in the Lokuttara-Citta. So we just need to add Magga-Citta into Kusala group, Phala-Citta into Vipaka group. That's all. So at the end of this lesson, as a conclusion of 89 consciousness in different way of classification, we will do that. We will do that. So trying to get ready to answer that. Okay. So today we are going to continue Abhidhamma study of Lokuttara-Citta. Here, the word Magga and Phala, as we said, Magga, the meaning of Magga is the path leading to Nibbana. The path leading to Nibbana is called the Magga in Pali. So if the path lead to Nibbana, I mean, it is the getting out of the samsara, so liberation from samsara, because Nibbana is out of the samsara. And that part is constituted or composed by the 8 fetters, 8 fetta. So you may remember that if we talk about the jhana, originally, what is jhana?
Concentrated.
Yeah. So the mental fetters, right? 5 mental fetters, when they are in balance and in certain level, they are called jhana. The jhananga, right? The 5 jhana fetters are called jhananga. So when they come to the certain level and in balance, it is called jhana. The consciousness in connection with this level of the mental state. Okay, so in the same way here, Magga also, what is Magga? Right. So if we talk about the Magga here, you see that 8 mental fetters come to the certain level in the process of Vipassana meditation practice. So we already mentioned last week how the Tihetuka Puthujjana, the ordinary person of the triple-rooted individual, can attain the Magga, so can attain the past level of enlightenment to become the Sotapaddi Maggatthana individual at the precise moment of Sotapaddi Magga consciousness. So when we talk about the Magga, it is consists of 8 fetters. 8 fetters referring to all the Citta mental fetters. When they come to certain level to eradicate or to remove specific sanyojana or kilesa, we say that whatever that have to be abandoned. The mental condition or mental states have to be abandoned. In that level, when they come into balance, and it is called Magga. If you keep your understanding in connection with the jhana fetta and jhana, here also Magga fetters, is of course the path fetta Magganga and the path Magga. So the path is the same as the Magga, the path fetters. When the path fetta come together, it's become path. Without the path fetters, there's no path. And that's why if we talk about the Magga, we have to know what are the path fetters. Magganga. So Magganga are very popular. Everyone already know. Samma Ditti, Samma Sankappa, Samma Vaca, Samma Kammanta, Samma Ajiva, Samma Vayama, Samma Sati, Samma Samadhi. If we talk about the Magganga, we have to know the specific mental fetters which represent the Samadhi, etc., the Magganga. So here, Samadhi referring to which mental fetters?
Panya.
Panya, right, of course. So now on the other hand, we can say the Panya represent Samadhi. Or the Samadhi mean Panya Cittasika, the mental fetters or wisdom faculty. So if you still confusing what is Samadhi, it's very hard to continue. So you have to make sure you understand whenever you hear samadhi, the word samadhi or English translation, right view in the Abhidhamma study. You have to understand this is equivalent to wisdom faculty, panya. Or when we study the 52 Paṭivedha, it is one of the beautiful Paṭivedha is panya. Okay, so samadhi we know. And what about sama sankappa?
Vitaka.
Vitaka, right. Right intention refers to the Paṭivedha or initial application. Initial application or vitaka citasika. And so the three, the right speech, right action, right livelihood, these three are called the Virati Citasika. Virati Citasika in the Citasika study. They come in the same name. In Paṭivedha also, Samavaca Citasika, Samakamanta Citasika, Samaajiva Citasika. These are Paṭivedha. So we can see the Panya, Vitaka, 3 Virati. So it becomes 5. Then number 6, the right effort. So Samavayama, with the translation, that which Citasika?
Viriya.
Viriya, good. Viriya is Samavayama. So when you hear Samavayama, in the sutta also, the many times this classification is repeatedly appear in the sutta, different sutta. So Ariya, Atingiko, Mago, like this, and counting that. So Samavayama, whenever you hear, you have to know this refer to Viriya. And Samasati, mindfulness, the same as Sati, Sati Citasika. And Samadhi, concentration. So here Samadhi refers to which Paṭivedha?
Ekagata.
Okay, right, Ekagata. So this Ekagata can be associated with, there are all kinds of consciousness. But in this case, Samma, by the word Samma, we call that. So it just connected to only the beautiful sides. It's not connected to akusala or ahituka like this. So okay, here Sama Samadhi is Ekagata, the Paṭivedha of Ekagata. And later on, when we study about the association method of the consciousness and Paṭivedha specifically, we will learn which Paṭivedha can be associated with which consciousness. Okay, so you have to remember another one. So here, Magga and Maghanga. So if we talk about the Maghanga and all are Paṭivedha. That Paṭivedha specifically associated with the mega consciousness. Mega consciousness. So when the mega consciousness arises, the associated Paṭivedha, especially we say that 36 Paṭivedha accompany. So 36 Paṭivedha and mega arise together. So altogether we can say the mentality, 37 mentality as a group. Mega is one mentality and 36 Paṭivedha coming together. So it becomes altogether 37 mentality arise at the moment. In the progress of the Vipassana meditation. When the concentration insight come into the certain level and when they are working in balance, that the first enlightenment appear. It is at the moment it's called precisely we can see that the Sotapaddi Mega Citta consciousness arise. But although we say by the name of Sotapaddi Mega consciousness, the consciousness cannot arise itself, cannot arise alone. always arise with the associated mental factors. So it means that 37 mentality arise together. Okay, keep this information in mind. And in the next lesson, when we talk about the mental process, we call the Citta Viti. So the attainment of Mega come in the Citta Viti. It means the arising of Sotapaddi Mega consciousness. It's called the past attainment of enlightenment. At that moment, the 37 mental factors will arise. Among these 37 mentalities, 8 are called Mega. 8 are called Mega: Panya, Vitaka, Trivirati, and Viriya, Sati, Ekagata. These are called Vitaka, Mega paths. And the others, because there you may heard about that if you recite the Patana, Megangani, Mega Sambyutakanan, Dhammanan, Dan Samutananan, Jarubana, Mega Pachena Pacheo, at this. So the others mentalities at the moment are called the Mega Sambyutta Dhamma. So only these 8 mental factors are called Mega. So now you understand the Mega and Meganga, and also the other mental factor, consciousness and mental factor. So consciousness is not included in the Mega. So why we call the Mega Citta? It means the consciousness associated with the Mega. It's called Mega Citta. So in this slide, I explain from the beginning, Meganga, Paṭivedha, and Mega. And the last one, Mega Citta. Mega Citta is the consciousness, the part consciousness, we can say the part consciousness in short. Okay, so this is the attainment in the development of insight vipassana. Here. So in the translation, Mega Citta, consciousness, which is accompanied by Mega. Okay, so don't confuse, there. What is Mega? Again, come to 8 mental factors. Okay, so now after understanding Mega, what is Phala? Fruition only. The resultant only, we can say that. Fruition of resultant. So the same thing. Okay, so today will be more interesting part. We have to talk about the function of Mega. So we know the 4 types of Mega: Sotapaddi Mega, Sakadagami Mega, Anagami Mega, and Arhata Mega. And this is different, the functions are different. So when Mega Citta arise at the moment, what kind of functions are performed by their consciousness or by their Mega? Okay, so here the past consciousness, Mega Citta, simultaneously perform, that at the same time, because my moment is very short, very, very short. Even in a short time of that moment, the Mega consciousness perform 4 functions at the same time. It is very strange, you think, but still this is the nature of ultimate reality according to the Theravada Abhidhamma teaching. Well, without this understanding, many people can be, the wrong conclusion or misunderstanding in the practice. In the practice, thinking about that, what is Mega fast? After that, what is that? So let's see. These 4 functions are performed by the Mega at the same time, and these 4 functions are related to the 4 noble truths. Related to the 4 noble truths. You already know the 4 noble truths: Dukkha Satya, Samudaya Satya, Nirodha Satya, Mega Satya. So this classification can be found even in the first discourse of the Buddha. What is the Sutta? Do you remember?
The first one,
The first, yeah. The first,
Dhammacakkuppavattana Sutta.
okay, Dhammacakka, right. The wheel of Dhamma, right? Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. In the first sermon of the Buddha, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, there you can find the Four Noble Truths. Now it is good, if you study the Sutta and take up some correlation and make the foundation of the knowledge, Buddhist knowledge. Otherwise, you here and there different correlation coming in the Dhamma talk and the teachings class are in different level. Without the specific foundation, very hard to build your knowledge in systematically. So, past this course, you should read. The Sutta is not difficult. You should read in your own language. It doesn't matter. Whatever language you understand and you read. And for Burmese people, Burmese learner, they can read in Burmese Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. It doesn't matter to learn in Pali or in English. If you understand English, you read it in English. And if you understand Chinese, you read in Chinese because it is translated into different languages. Okay, so in this slide, we are talking about the four functions performed by the Magga related to the Four Noble Truths. So when the Magga Citta arises, at that moment, the Magga Citta perform the function of the Parinya. Parinya is full understanding of suffering to the Dukkha Satcha. Suffering is Dukkha Satcha. So I think we already studied about the Four Noble Truths in the ultimate terms. Maybe after this class, you may need to check again. What is the Four Noble Truths? And what is the Dukkha Satcha in ultimate reality? So anyone know this?
Dukkha Satcha is the 81 Lokuttara-Citta, 51 Citta Sikha, and 28 Rupa.
Very good. Yeah, thank you. So you remember that observing the nature, the Vipassana practice comes. Vipassana practitioner focusing on the Upadana Khana we call, same as Dukkha Satcha. Dukkha Satcha, 81 Lokiya and associated Paṭivedha and materialities, focusing on that and keeping characteristic of impermanent, suffering, and non-self in mind. Then the inside knowledge comes to the maturity, come to mature. So in this way, the Vipassana practitioner is continuing his practice. And when the Magga Citta arises also, this Dukkha Satcha is in the object, being the object to have the Parinya, understanding. So Magga consciousness perform the function of which is called on the fully understanding is called Parinya. And this function cannot apply to other noble truths. This means that Samudaya Satcha is not necessary to full understand like this. It's not for the fully understanding. So Nirodha Satcha, not for the fully understanding. Magga Satcha is not like this. For the second function, Pahana Kicca. Pahana Kicca is abandoning. So abandoning the craving. So in the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, craving is divided into three: Kamadana, Bhavadana, and Vibhavadana. All three types of craving have to be abandoned like this. So by the power of the Magga Citta. Then here Samudaya Satcha. Then Sachikriya Kicca, that is realization of the Nibbana. So you can say the Sachikriya in some way the experience, his personal experience. Because the mega consciousness, when it arises, it takes Nibbana as its object. As Nibbana as its object. So we have to understand the object of mega citta and also Paṭivedha is Nibbana. So when they arrive at that moment of mega citta or Paṭivedha, we understand and the object is Nibbana. So, but still, the consciousness can perform the other function. The fully understanding. You can complain how the taking Nibbana as it is object, and how it can understand fully understanding or suffering. So only when you attain the Sotapaddi Mega, you can answer it. But this is as explained in the Abhidhamma literature. You just say that. Then the bhavana. So bhavana function related to the Mega Satcha, Four Noble Truth. Development to the specific level and keeping in balance. So these are the four functions of Mega. Every Mega consciousness, Sotapaddi Mega, Sakaragami Mega, Anagami Mega, or Arhata Mega, whenever they arise in the cognitive process as attainment, so they perform these four functions every time. So in this way, we can understand the four functions of Mega in relation to the Four Noble Truth. Okay, so this is very interesting. Only the supra-mundane consciousness can perform in this way. The other consciousness cannot go to the different function. That in the chapter 3, we will study about the 14 functions performed by the different kinds of consciousness. In Pali, it is called Kicca. Okay, so for the Mega Citta, there are four functions to perform. Then, after the Mega consciousness, the very precise moment, then Paṭivedha follow as a result or as a fruition. And what is that? The path consciousness, the Mega arise at the time. It is function of eradicating. Yeah, you see, the eradicating mean the removing completely or flaming out the defilements. And sometimes, the permanently attenuating. Here, this word is refers. This refers to the second Mega, Sakaragami Mega. So Sotapaddi Mega, except the Sakaragami, Sotapaddi Mega, Anagami Mega, Arhata Mega, 3 Mega, they was eradicate. They will remove specific defilements. And for the Sakaragami Mega, it's just attenuate. It means the reducing the level. It does not remove any specific defilements. So this is mentioned in the chapter 9. That is chapter 9. So if we just follow the Abhidhamma Sangha chapter by chapter, and sometimes the contexts are very far in connection because it is divided into the sequence of the Acharya Anuruddha. So I'm trying to connect the information, the related information, to introduce you here about the supra-mundane part. And also, if you want to study the Abhidhamma Lecture chapter by chapter, and you read, and then you can see that another series of the Abhidhamma classes in YouTube you can find. And in this lesson, I will try to explain according to the connected context of the Abhidhamma context. That's why, if you are reading, in the consciousness and Paṭivedha, it explains only the classification and the connection only. It seems very boring and very, very hard to understand, other than memorization. And that's why we use the system of memorization in the traditional approach of Abhidhamma study. Okay, anyway, that you may have difficulty to memorize. That's why I'm trying to explain the meaning related to the ultimate nature of Abhidhamma, the ultimate nature of reality in the Abhidhamma. So the Metta, when it arises, it performs the function. They are also the eradicating the defilements. Well, if we talk about this related to the second function, Bahana Parinya, and the Bahana function, removing or eradicating. In the former slide, it mentioned only the craving, but actually it eradicate the defilement at the same time. The main cause of mega consciousness is eradicating defilements and the taking nibbana as its object. You can see the eradicate the refinements, taking nibbana as its object. Only when nibbana stand as the object of the mega consciousness, the power comes. In this way, the nibbana and the mega consciousness are connecting each other. So nibbana is object, aramana, and the mega citta is the consciousness which takes that aramana. So aramanika, we say the aramana and aramanika. Okay, the taking nibbana as it is object, mega citta perform the function, four function, and also it eradicate the defilement, specific defilement. Then for the Paṭivedha is, as I said, it is just the fruition or the resultant of the mega consciousness. For itself, it cannot eradicate, although it takes nibbana as it is object. It cannot eradicate the defilements. It cannot attenuate the defilements. So what is the purpose? It has the function of experiencing the degree of liberation. The liberation. So taking nibbana as its object, and it's a kind of experience. So the level will be the same as the mega. Sotapaddi mega, Sotapaddi phala. Both of them are taking nibbana as it is object. Okay. So here you see the path consciousness is kusala, wholesome, and fruition consciousness is vipaka citta, resultant. So for the path consciousness, each path consciousness arises only once in the samsara, the very rare moment. In samsara, kusala, the other kusala, mundane kusala, akusala, in many lives, we already repeatedly arise kusala, akusala, and also vipaka. Even the jhana consciousness and the jhana vipaka in the, the Brahma world, we already experience many times along the samsara. But for the mega, when arise only one time, never repeat. You have to to note this nature of Magga Citta. So if someone is talking about the Sotapaddi Magga arise many times in my process, no, it's not. It's just misunderstanding according to Theravada Abhidhamma explanation. One time, only one time, because Magga Citta and its function connected. The Magga Citta permanently eradicate, completely disrupt. The defilement never arise. And if there is no refinement repeating to be abandoned again and again, there's no point to arise again. So that's why when the Magga consciousness arises, it eradicates specific defilements that never arise again, never repeat again. So because defilements cannot repeat after removal of the Magga Citta also no need to repeat. That's why it's only one time. Also very short, that endure only for one mind moment. Okay, if you keep this information, and when we talk about the cognitive process, Citta Vitti, how mental process arise in the Vipassana practice, at the end of Vipassana practice. And you will understand only one mind moment. Then after that, the corresponding fruition consciousness. So initially arise immediately after path moment. That we say that path moment only one time. In that starting mental process of containing concept of the path consciousness, the fruition moment, the fruition moment in the same cognitive series endure 2 or 3. There can be two options, sometimes 2, sometimes for some person 2, for some person 3, like this. This also will be explained in the cognitive process. Okay, just trying to take a note here. Just after the path consciousness, fruition consciousness 2 or sometimes 3 mind moment arise. This is in the same cognitive series only. And for the different series, different cognitive process, different Citta Vitti, after the attainment of Sotapaddi Magga, just after the Sotapaddi Magga, the fruition consciousness 2 or 3 mind moment will arise. From that time on, that person is called which person? You remember?
Sotapaddi
Palatana, right? Okay.
Palatana.
Sotapaddi Palatana individual. So in the Sotapaddi Palatana is mental process. This fruition consciousness can arise in many series. For it is called the Palasamapatti. After the attainment of first enlightenment, then it's called the Sotapaddi Palatana individual. When the Sotapaddi Palatana individual have the intention to enter to the process of fruition, which is called Palasamapatti, then he start to focus on the mentality or maturity, which is called the Upadana Khanda, and start to practice Vipassana meditation at that time. Then when the consciousness, the mental factors come to the certain level and enter to the Sotapaddi Pala, it means the Sotapaddi Pala consciousness arise repeatedly in the process. According to his determination, according to his power of concentration, sometimes, the 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 1 hour, the whole day, that when it becomes skillful, the whole day enter into the Sotapaddi Magga, Palasamapatti. At the moment, all the moments in the mind, that occupied by the Sotapaddi Pala consciousness, that is called the Palasamapatti. Okay, now you understand. In the same cognitive series, the flat consciousness can be 2 or 3 mind movement only. And in the different series, different series, it can be repeatedly arise according to the practice. The millions of times. Here, endure for many mind movements. So if you want to read more, you can go and check Comprehensive Manual of Abhidhamma 66 to 68, like this. Okay, this is how the Megha-citta and Phala-citta arise in the the process, in the mental process. If we talk about the ultimate reality, we have to start our conversation from the process. Everything is process. Maturity are also process. The previously arise maturities, and they are passing away. And the following maturities take place. In this way, we are thinking about, this is continuously existing, or like this. In the same way, the mentality is also a group of mentality, as I mentioned at the beginning, consciousness and mental fetter in the cluster or in the group, they are rising in the process. So we are thinking that my mind is existing from the beginning. When I was young, also my mind is like this. Or my mind is good or bad or something like this. And thinking that, but actually from the Abhidhamma explanation, everything, in the process, rising and passing away all the time. Okay, so let's see the another slide here. As I mentioned, that when the mega consciousness arises, it eradicates or attenuates or reduce, remove or reduce the defilements. This is the defilements and the Megha-citta. Which Megha-citta remove or reduce the level of defilements. We can see here, but here quite far from the page number 359. Doesn't matter, you can check. Also here, the fetters, because here, other than the name or defilements, Abhidhamma Sangha mentioned by the name of the fetters. Okay, so let's see the word. Trying to remember, defilement, the translation, English translation, defilement refers to the kilesa. Kilesa. In chapter 7, you can find the complete set of the kilesa enumeration. Anyone of you know the defilements? What are the defilements? How many first? How many defilements? Okay, no problem, because we didn't study yet. The 10 defilements. If you are interested in that, you can go and check in the chapter 7. You will find the Tassa Kilesa, and that there are 10 defilements. In the same way, fetters. Fetter is Sanyojana. Okay, you get the 2 one. Many of our Lana, Abhidhamma Lana, always say that, okay, for me, is the terms and that the usage are very difficult to memorize or something like this. If you think that the terminologies of Abhidhamma is difficult, you need to practice. And that unfortunately we cannot send by email or Bible or Bluetooth or something like this. So you just need to train yourself to become familiar with the Abhidhamma term. Abhidhamma term, and Here you can take a note. The petals are what? Petals are what?
Sayojana,
Okay, Sayojana, and defilements are what?
Kilesa.
Okay, so in this way you can understand. You can become expert in the Abhidhamma usage. Okay, Sayojana and defilements. Some case is referring to the same and sometimes different. In the Abhidhamma Sangha and Comprehensive Manual of Abhidhamma, the Sayojana are explained in two groups. The 10 feathers, according to Sutta explanation, like this. The Sutta explanation means you can find, these are feathers, they are Sayojana when you read the Sutta. But the 10 feathers in Abhidhamma explanation like this. The two different enumeration can be found in the Abhidhamma Sangha. The feathers, Sayojana. Okay, so let's continue. Which feather or which Sayojana are eradicated by the Paṭipatti Magga? Here you see the Sakkaya Ditthi, so Sakkaya Ditthi, Vicikiccha, Silabbata Paramasa. Okay, we need to try that. Three Sayojana. When you read the Sutta, when the Buddha is explaining about their attainment of Sotapattī Magga, there come the Tina Sayojana Parikya, like this 3 Sayojana, 3 feathers eradicated, they're removed, no more arising, completely destroyed. Then these 3 Sayojana are referring to Sakkaya Ditthi. Sakkaya Ditthi is translated as personality view, personality wrong view, like this. This is Ditthi is view, but because this is Sayojana, in a wholesome case, is wrong view. Sakkaya, actually, the word Sakkaya is quite, difficult to identify. That is called the actual existing mentality and materialities in their specific nature. So we already explained that consciousness has that kinds of nature and mental factors, different kinds, materiality. Also, they have the different characteristics. They are existing in their own characteristic. But when we are thinking about that, this is my body, this is my mind, existing like this. Okay, that is the view of Sakkaya. It's not correct view, because there's no I, there's no something belong to me. Everything just arising in their own nature from the Abhidhamma perspective or from the ultimate sense. Even we ourselves are the process of mentality and materialities. There's nothing substance, which is called ego or the soul, something everlasting, entities. We cannot be found other than mentality and materialities. But for those of us in the level of Buddhajana, we still with that kinds of view. That is called Sakkaya Ditthi. Okay, so what is the ultimate reality? Is the wrong view, the mental factor or wrong view, which is called Ditthi Cittasika. Ditthi Cittasika, wrongly taken when it arises. So that is called Sakkaya Ditthi. And Vicikiccha is doubt. Okay, in this specific case, doubt about the certain aspect of Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, and the Paṭijasamuppada, like this. This is called the Vicikiccha and doubt. Then the third one is Silabbata Paramasa, adherence to rise and ratio. And by its adherence mean by this practice or rise and ratios, I will attain the liberation. That is wrong view. So these two Sakayaditi and Silabbata Brahmas are reference to the same ultimate reality of wrong view, manifestos, wrong view. But the wrong view will have the different kinds of, the different kinds. That's why here the Sakayaditi and Silabbata Brahmas are mentioned as a fetters, Sanyojana, which is removed by the Sotappatti Citta. So we have to know that after the arising of Sotappatti Mega consciousness, when it comes to become when the person comes to become the Sotappatti Palatana, in his process, these kinds of wrong view, Sakayaditi, Silabbata Brahmasa, and Vichikicha, they cannot arise again because these are eradicated by the Sotappatti Mega, completely disrupted. In this way, we come to be able to identify Sotappatti Palatana individual is this kind, like this. So no more doubt at all. Okay, so in the consciousness, the Paṭivedha rooted in the greed associated with wrong view, because here, wrong view. In the consciousness classification, so do you remember how many consciousness are connected to wrong view?
4.
4. In which group?
Lokuttara-Citta.
Right. They're in Akusala and the Loba Mula. And there are 8, but only 4 consciousness associated with wrong view. It means after the eradication of the Sakayaditi, Silabbata Brahmasa by the Sotappatti Citta, these 4 consciousness associated with wrong view will not arise in the Sotapanna's mind, in the mind, in the mental process. So these informations are very useful if we continue, the Abhidhamma study. Many information come to connection to explain one aspect in the Abhidhamma. It's very interesting, because when later on, when we will count how among the 89 consciousness, how many consciousness can arise, the Sotapanna's mental process like this. How many consciousness can arise the Puthujjana's mental process? Can you guess? How many?
81. Well,
like this, right? The functional consciousness will not arise like this. So, this is like a playing, a kind of how it's called the game. Many information come together and then we get the conclusion. For the Sotapanna's mind, what kind of consciousness can arise? What kind of consciousness cannot arise? Why? You can see that. So keeping this information, you can answer, you can enumerate. Otherwise, why? They're always asking and then lost in the reason to give an answer. But this is very an interesting point in learning Abhidhamma. Also, if you can answer by your own reason in keeping memories, it's a kind of fun. It's a kind of fun. Okay, so now you start to remember these 4 consciousness cannot arise in the Sotappatti Palatana's individual's consciousness. Now you know this information. And if, let's see, I will give a hint you to continue Abhidhamma study. If this consciousness cannot arise even in the Sotapanna's mind, is it possible to arise in Sakadagami's mind? No. Yeah, because completely eradicated, even in the first level. Second level, nothing to talk about. It's impossible to arise again. So Sakadagami, Anagami, or Arahata, no more arising. So along the samsara, before the attainment of Sotapaddi Magga, these four consciousness can arise. After the attainment of Sotapaddi Magga, no more arising. It's finished. Also, we can understand as long as these consciousness arise in our mental process, we are still in which level?
Putujana.
Putujana only, right? You cannot confuse that. Sometime, that I become Sotapanna or sometimes Putujana. No, it's not the nature. And also the Citta rooted in the delusion associated with doubt, or is that consciousness? Can you bring?
Upakasa kata vichikicha sampancha.
Yes. Yeah. Mohamula, right? So altogether, 5 consciousness are eradicated. So
84.
when the arising of Sotapaddi Magga, we can understand, okay, the possibility of the arising 5 consciousness already gone, already removed, no more arising. Okay, so let's continue. Here, Sakadagami Magga. For the Sakadagami Magga, it does not eradicate any fetter. So what is the point? As I said, the eradication, yeah, but another one is attenuating, just to reduce the gross form of sensual desire and evil. Gross form of sensual desire referring to lobha, and evil refers to the dosa. And the precise Pali word is Pyabhada, right? Evil is Pyabhada. So, but Pyabhada reference to dosa many times come to confusion, but doesn't matter. And okay, so the level of lobha and dosa, after the arising, after the attainment of Sotapaddi Magga, no more vichikicha. And also the Uddhacca Sagata also cannot send to the abhaya, right? So just to consider about the lobha and dosa. When the lobha very strong in the certain level, that can cause to be born in the awful state, committing wrong action to Charita, Paṭipatti, by greedy mind, or like this. Actually, caused by the greedy, and then at the moment of killing, this dosa is done. This stealing, or after commitment, one can reborn in the what is it, the paya awful state. So the level are reduced. The level are reduced. Dosa, sensual desire, and evil are reduced. But here in the awful state, the power potential to send to the awful state already removed in the Sotapaddi Magga stage. But in the Sakadagami Magga, still the sensual desire, because it is not removed from the Sotapaddi Magga, still the gross form remain. But although the potential to be reborn in the abhaya, the awful state, is removed by the Sotapaddi Magga, but still the gross form of sensual desire arises. That's why thinking that the Sotapanna also still want to get married, and also sometimes get angry. But the anger in the Sotapanna's mind cannot be the cause to kill, but still get angry, maybe hit by the the fits or his friend, or like the Sotapanna also, the Sotapanna are also fighting like this. But Sotapanna will not kill any living being by the anger. Sotapanna will not steal, because this removed by the Sotapaddi Magga. And up to that, the gross form still remain. We have to understand that level is is removed by the Sakaragami Mega. So once again, the Mega arises second time, it is called the Sakaragami Mega, but it is not removing any certain Sayojana, but reduce the level of desire and evil. Okay, but at the time, Nibbana is object. For the Anagami Mega, essential desire, Kamaraga, and evil, Vyavara, these two are they are eradicated. These two are eradicated. It means completely distracted. Okay, Kamaraga, sensual desire, refers to which mental fetters? Do you know? Anyone of you know?
The Lokuttara-Citta, the remaining 4.
Okay, here Loba, yeah, actually the mental fetters or Loba associated with the remaining 4, right? So that is called the Kamaraga. So it's connected to the sensual pleasure. That lower consciousness is a lower mental fetter is removed, but not all. Here there's no mention, right? The 4 citta are removed, but because the other Ruparaga and Aruparaga still remain, although the consciousness associated with the essential desire is removed, but that same consciousness associated with the Ruparaga and Aruparaga still can arise. So evil, the evil always arise the hatred rooted consciousness, dosa mula. But there is no dosa mula consciousness without the hatred, without the evil. That's why we can count it. The 2 citta cannot arise after the attainment of Anagami Mega. Right? Maybe some confusion. So what about the Loba Mula? So for the Loba Mula, still another aspect. For Dosa Mula, okay, there's no Dosa Mula consciousness without evil or without Dosa like this. That's why as the Anagami Mega completely destructs two Sayojana. In the Sutta, the explanation comes, the Kamaraga, Vyavara, Anawasisa Pahana like this. So completely destruction of the 2 Sayojana, he became Anagami person. This means Anagami Mega consciousness arise after the Phala consciousness. Continue. So okay, so for the Anagami Mega, after the attainment of Anagami Mega, we can count it. There are 5 plus 2. 7 akusala consciousness cannot arise. So how many akusala consciousness remain?
5.
5 only remain, right? After Anagami attainment. 5 means the 4 consciousness, agreed consciousness, agreed rooted consciousness dissociated from wrong view and Uddhacca Sahagata. Then when he continued practicing Vipassana at the moment of Arhata Magga, the other remaining 5 fetters, desire for fine material is existent, which is called Ruparaga, and desire for immaterial existent Aruparaga, and which is called conceit, Mana, restlessness, Uddhacca, ignorance, Avijja. The 5 fetters are completely removed. And with the 5 fetters, you see the Uddhacca Sahagata here, 1. And the Ruparaga, Aruparaga, conceit also, that arising with the remaining 4 consciousness, 4 citta rooted in greed, but dissociated from wrong view. So the other remaining 5 akusala consciousness also removed with the fetters. That's why after the attainment of arhatship, Arhata Magga, or the arhat's mind, there is no more akusala consciousness can arise. So this is how the Magga Citta eradicate or attenuate their opposite defilements or opposite fetters, Sanyojana. Okay, so here in the Sutta classification, lower fetters and higher fetters. Lower fetter is called Orambhagiya Sanyojana. Lower means that they can bring down individual not to go up. You know, as long as one have the Orambhagiya Sanyojana, you know, he will reborn in the sensual plane of existence. Then the others higher fetters here, Ruparaga, Aruparaga, Mana, Udaja, ignorance, they are not fetters to tie up individual for the lower realms. It's tied up individual in higher realm. That's why they are called the higher fetters. Okay, this is the classification of the explanation about the path consciousness when there is arise, how they remove the fetters, which is called the Sanyojana. Okay, so I'm going to stop here my explanation about the supramundane consciousness part 2, and let's continue discussion. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Well, thank you very much, Sayadaw, for the Abhidhamma Lecture. We are now going to begin the question and answer session for this meeting. For everyone else attending for the live streaming will end here. May you all be happy, healthy, and peaceful, and may you all soon realize